If you're wondering where should I stay in Leh Ladakh, how many days are enough, kya khana milta hai, best season to go, and of course how much does it all cost, then this video is for you. It's practically packed with real experiences and will save your hours of googling. I am Pragya Sharma. Welcome to Khao Local Ghumo Global, where we explore new ways of living through travel, food and local stories. In this video, I'll be covering everything from hostels and homestays to food scenes, itinerary hacks, the real weather truth and a very honest budget breakdown. So grab your chai, stay till the end and let's plan smarter. Rock and roll. Let's start with the most important comfort of all. Where did I stay during the 12-day Leh Ladakh trip? Stay number 1, Leh Hostel in Leh. This one's just 15-20 minutes from the airport and barely 2-3 minutes walking to the main market. Perfect if you love exploring on food. Dorm beds were around 300 to 400 per night. Pro tip here is go offline booking and negotiate. You might save more. The crowd was chill, mostly group, not too packed. The staff sweet and helpful, whether it's bike rental, permits or general guidance. A bonus point is a cool terrace to unwind after your long travel days. For budget travelers, this one is a win. Stay number 2, camping in Chumatang. So we were supposed to reach Hanle but got delayed. It was cold, dark and slightly rainy, so we camped in a small parking lot in Chumatang village, which is known for hot water spring. Yes, we carried our own tent, which was a brownie point for us for the preparation. Sounds adventurous? Well, it was one of the scariest nights ever. Insane wind noise, barking dogs all night, zero light. I couldn't sleep at all and waited for the sunrise like a spiritual awakening. Used a public toilet, which is free of cost, perk of offbeat travel. Thrilling but terrifying. 0 rupees spent, 10 years aged overnight. Stay number 3, Hamo Homestay in Hanle. After that horror show, this place felt like heaven. 3 of us shared a super cozy room with dinner plus breakfast included. Cost of a room in the interior parts of the village is between 2500 to 3500. Same category rooms on the main road will cost you 7000 to 8000. Food was delicious, locals were humble and one heads up, limited electricity, roughly 7 to 8 hours per day, so carry power bank. Stay number 4, Chonjor Homestay in Nyoma village. Affordable, accessible and super homely, the auntie gave us a spacious room with 4 beds, perfect for a group of 3. Simple, peaceful, no complaints. Stay number 5, camping at Somori Lake in Karzok. Oh god, another wild camping night, and again this dumb plan was my choice. There were homestays option, but no, I chose adventure again. Daytime it was pretty and peaceful, but nighttime, cloudy skies, bone-chilling cold, zero stargazing, just regret. Learn from me, romanticize camping carefully. Stay number 6, Viewpoint Zamda Homestay in Merak village at a Pangong stretch. After surviving that Karzok night, this felt luxurious. We were the only guest and auntie gave us a full feast. Room had an amazing view of the village and price included meals. Also, they were kind enough to negotiate seeing our budget struggle, so highly recommended. Warm people, warm food. Stay number 7, Greenland Guest House in Diskit in Nubra Valley. We reached Diskit after a hellish ride from Pangong. That Shok River route, a nightmare. Plus, our bike broke down. But this stay was exactly what we needed that night. Clean, comfy and calming. A literal breath of fresh air after a rocky ride. And the final one, stay number 8, Gyalpo House in Hundar village. I saved the royal treatment for the end. Big, beautiful, posh property and I paid just 800, breakfast included. You know the market price, maybe around 4000 and more. Why this discount? Honestly, I think the owner just had pity on me, or maybe the drama worked. As I said to uncle, it's just going to be me to stay in this room. I cannot afford to pay so much myself, please. And top of it, as I said, off season tha, so I think probably they considered my request. All bookings were done on the spot, no advance, no online fuss. Since I traveled in May, which is basically an off-season, we got rooms easily and at better prices. And I have dropped a few homestay contacts in the description, so feel free to check that out. Let's jump on to the next topic, 12 days itinerary for Leh Ladakh. If you are visiting Leh Ladakh for the first time and wondering, bhaiya kitne din ka plan bana hai? Here is the tried and tested 12-day circuit itinerary. Nothing fancy, no drama, just practical, smooth and budget friendly. If you want the detailed version, please check out the first part of this series, which is out on my channel. Other tips from my side, entire trip done in May, which is off season, so fewer people, better prices and less chaos. You can follow this in reverse order too. That's the itinerary I followed. If you have got another version, please share in the comments. Let's help other travelers plan better. And let's jump on to the next topic, food in Leh Ladakh. What to eat and where. If you think Ladakh is all about Maggi, chai and momo, you are not totally wrong, but also not totally right. There is a whole world of flavor, simplicity and soul in Ladakhi food, especially if you explore like a local and not just as a tourist. Let's break it down. Number 1, local Ladakhi food, which is vegetarian friendly also. If you want to taste what the locals eat, then try skew, which is a dough pasta stew, looks humble but quite filling. Churpi, which is a dried yak cheese if your jaw needs some gym training. Tingmo and veg curry. Tingmo is a soft steamed bread roll, best with sabzi or any dal. Veg shutagi, a hand-rolled Ladakhi pasta, very famous. And there are many more. But trust me, nothing beats a plate of homemade food, bole to ghar jaisa khana at 12,000 feet. And here comes number 2, homely meals at stays. I got to eat ghar jaisa khana at Hamo Homestay in Hanle and Viewpoint Zamta at Pangong Stretch. The combo of hot food plus cold weather and warm people is unbeatable. Food was included in most stays, mainly breakfast and dinner, and very satisfying. And here comes the number 3, regular tourist food. If you crave comfort, don't worry, Maggi, pizza, paratha, chow mein and pancakes wale cafe bhi milenge. Especially in Leh town, main market area mein, try Neha Snacks for veg North Indian or Himalayan kitchen for a mixed menu and more. Check out the part 2 of my Leh series. You will get to know the list of foods in detail. And let's roll on to the next topic, weather and best time to visit Leh Ladakh. Okay, first thing first, Ladakh is cold 365 days, that's the headline. But wait, the cold has flavors. June to August, tourist season starts. Weather is pleasant in Leh, but don't get too comfy because when you hit high altitudes area like Hanle, Pangong, Somoriri, it can get freezing even in summer. Temperature goes about 10 to 20 degrees in day, but night sometimes 0 to 5 degrees at night. Positive for this season is roads are mostly open. I think negative for this season is river crossing starts melting, so kind of risky. And number 2, expensive bike rental stays and the Leh market looks like Sarojini on a weekend, I think. September to October, sky is clearest, landscapes are gorgeous, but by late October, roads closure begins. Better for experienced travelers or if you are driving with a crew. Now May month, which was my trip month, off season की last page पर रहता है ये. Weather was crazy cold, nights were chilly, but no extreme snow. Big win for me to travel in this month was no river crossings, no crowd and discounts everywhere. So yes, a solid sweet spot for budget and peace. November to April is a no-go zone for many. Snowfall, minus temperature, black ice, many areas like Nubra, Pangong get cut off. Homestay shut, permits restricted and road travel, adventure but not always safe. Go only if you are prepared, well equipped and have local contacts. Talking about a little on monsoon in Ladakh, not really because it's a cold desert, so no full-on barish wala vibes, but some rains in July-August in lower altitudes like Leh town mein you will see. Mostly safe from monsoon drama except landslide near Manali, Leh and Srinagar Leh routes. For handling weather surprises, packing list and dealing with high altitude drama, check my first part of this series already live on my channel. And now let's talk about what everyone asks and no one wants to calculate. Leh Ladakh budget breakdown, what I actually spent. Before I begin the budget breakdown, this was a 12-day trip done in May, which is basically our off-season, and we were a group of 3, meaning we split a lot of cost. So please note prices were 30 to 50% lower than peak season. We booked everything on the spot and yes, we did it backpacking style, staying in hostels, homestays, even camping. So this is a budget traveler's breakdown. Luxury folks skip or stay for curiosity. Starting from the stay where I spent 3,700 rupees in total. Yes, for 12 days. From hostels in Leh to homestays in Hanle to scary yet iconic camping nights by lake, all counted in. I won't recommend camping unless you love suffering. Then comes the food where I spent 2,500 rupees in total. जी हाँ, हवा खा के काम नहीं चलाया है. This includes everything from local thukpa, chutaki, namkeen chai and tingmo, momo with a view, homely dal chawal and homestays. So no skipping meals, just smart eating. And then the bike rentals, which cost us about 10,000 rupees in total for 10 days. So basically we rented a bike in Leh, which cost us around 10,000 after that messy level negotiation. So for 10 days, basically 10,000 in total. Original price was around 1,500 rupees ka tha per day. Petrol cost me 1,300 in total. Ladakh circuit is spread out, but petrol cost wasn't that crazy. And if I talk about extras, which includes entry tickets, inner line permits, emergency repairs like bike towing, bike failure, I paid around 1,800 rupees in total. And listen to me, the flight cost me 37,600 round trip. Now this one hurt. I paid more on flights than the entire trip. Okay, now everyone asked me, can I do Ladakh on budget? And my answer is yes. If you plan, prep and stay real about what you want from the trip, you don't need a fancy 4x4 or 5,000 jacket. You just need good company, basic gear and that Kida to go. Have questions or suggestions? Drop your comment, or you can reach out to me on my Instagram and thread handle. It's called Khao Local Ghumo Global. I love chatting with travelers like you. This is me, Pragya Sharma, exploring new ways of living, signing off from the Leh Ladakh series. You see me in my next release. Till then, travel safely, stay safe and explore the world with care. Bye. Salam.